We have Ryan from Mana Foods going to give us a coconut demo. So give it up for Ryan. The manager extraordinaire, the produce manager. He won the Produce Manager of the Year award here on Maui. All right, Ryan.
All right, good evening, everybody. And by the way, curry leaves fresh are available at Mana Foods. So I'm just, we did the jackfruit demo a few months back, and people were excited about that. So
Hey, look at this.
You got some jackfruit seedlings. Beautiful.
Melissa, from that night,
Yeah.
she went home and she made some jackfruit. So there's 4 jackfruit seedlings from Melissa helping.
Wow. Yeah, jackfruit's an amazing tree, really good windbreak and really solid. Grows really fast. Good to put it on the edge somewhere. But I'm talking about coconuts tonight because we live on an island, but we're fortunate enough to have coconuts growing on, and so it's a very valuable resource. And lots of people are drinking coconut water these days, so it seems. It's like a new fad, huh? I know at Mana Foods they sell pallets and pallets and pallets, and it seems like all the other stores are also selling pallets and pallets and pallets of imported coconut water from Thailand, the Philippines, etc. But more and more, more and more coconuts are becoming available in the market. You've seen them everywhere, and we try to keep them in stock at Mana Foods all the time too. And a lot of people are intimidated by the coconut, and what do you do with it? I'm used to buying this brown, round, hard shell thing at Safeway, wherever else they sell those. So local coconuts, there's lots of different stages, and there's lots of different colors. Sure. And so size isn't necessarily an indicator of its youngness, because generally for the drinking coconuts, you want to have something that's young, it's easy to open, it's not the water won't be off. You want to be able to shake it and hear and not hear the water. You hear the water in there. It's a small coconut, so you might think, oh, this is a young coconut, but not necessarily. An indicator that you want to look for a young coconut is that the calyx is kind of riding on the top, and the shoulders are starting to grow over the top of the calyx. And just some different stages as I dig to the bottom. This is a mature coconut. This would be like what you would buy at Safeway, but they would husk it first. And you're going to have the brown nut in there. Again, there's going to be even less water in there because that water went into making more of a thicker meat on the inside. And so you'll see that. And then,
Ryan, how can you tell that one's mature?
it's brown. It's brown, and it's when you shake it, it's like all the way mature. And I'll show another stage of what's beyond mature is it starts to sprout. And then there's a coconut sprout on the inside of the coconut. It tastes like cotton candy or like a cupcake. But so this is actually a young, very young coconut. And you see the calyx rides on the top, as opposed to this one. It's not too much different in size, but you see how the shoulders are growing. So this is still young and fast-growing fruit. And so as it matures, these shoulders it's going to get bigger and bigger, and these 3 shoulders are going to grow up around that calyx. That calyx is going to be still in the middle, and this is kind of what that looks like. And then you can see, again, on the mature one, it's more in there.
Irene, that means you're mature, you're brown.
Then you got something like this. It's going to be like a thicker meat. It's a shaker. So typically at the store, most people what they want is a drinking coconut. So we don't have too many of these available. But as far as caloric and nutritional value, this is where it's at. It's a lot harder to get into. You have a really thick, hard, like a brown shell in there. The meat's going to be a little bit more, tough to get out. But man, there's a lot of calories, you know, in that. You know, maybe like 1,500 calories might be in like a good sized coconut, the meat of it, you know, and that kind of meat's like you're chewing for a while, as opposed to like you might have heard of like, you know, people have spoon meat or jelly meat at different stages of the coconut. Like spoon meat's just like chomp chomp, you know, and swallow it down. And with the jelly meat, it's almost like you don't even need teeth, you know, it's right down. It's already smoothie. But a lot of good food value in a mature coconut. A lot of people just don't know how to get into it. And as far as like storability, like wow, you know, it can go from that to this, you know, and it might take a couple months as long as it's in a shady spot. It's still good as long as it didn't have too much humidity. And the top didn't rot. That's kind of the key. If the top doesn't rot, then it's going to be hanging around for a while. And the older they are, when they come down from the tree, the longer the shelf life will be. So you can store it a little bit longer versus like a really young coconut, you know, maybe a week, 10 days, you know, it's gonna start going because it hasn't developed all its natural protection. So we got some of these already took the liberty of opening up, and so this is a mature nut. This is a shaker, like the one I was just showing you. And it's got a much thicker meat. It's not totally mature. It still has like some pliability to it. When it's all the way mature, it's actually very hot. Yeah. And a more rare coconut to find, because most people look at this and think like, oh, that's compost or trash. But this is a coconut sprouting coconut, but it's just at the stage where it hasn't sent the leaf out yet. Generally, if it sends a leaf out, that's a good indicator that it's going to be a really nice one. So this one isn't totally developed yet. I'm going to go ahead and open this up, show you what we have here inside. I've got this core, this coconut fiber, the coconut meat here, and this is the start of the actual sprout right here. And this is like an amazing texture. It starts to convert the fat back into more of a carbohydrate, and this will fill up the shell. And then as it gets a few more leaves on it, like it gets like 3 or 4 leaves, the meat will start getting thinner. And that will turn into coconut oil, like a natural coconut oil, where you can just rub it on, whatever, and it has a little more particulate matter in it because it hasn't been refined. And that's like the frosting on the cupcake. Because this is really, really small. So it basically, by the time it sprouts, it's gonna fit. It's gonna fill the whole cavity in there, and it has this kind of yellowish color on the outside. And on the inside, it's like snow white, and it's very like soft and airy, and just super delicious. So if you have the opportunity to find sprouted coconut, go for it, whack it open. I got a couple techniques on opening them. This is just a couple blows with a machete, but one good technique I like to use when there's plenty of them around, especially if it's in an area that's moist, or if you stick it in a bucket and get it wet for a little while first, is you set it in the ground like this in a nice stable spot, and then you find the biggest rock you can find, and you pick up that rock, biggest rock that you can pick up, and safety pick up, and you set this on the ground like this in a nice stable spot, maybe a little divot or it's a couple rocks around it, so it's going to hold it stable, and then you drop it from a good distance, boom, right on the top, and it'll split down here. And you see some guys do it like in the like they hit it on like a spike or a rock. You can do like that too, but if you just drop a big rock on it, it can, and then you can peel apart the husk. It comes off a lot easier when it's mature. These guys fibers can rip off, and especially when you got a few different sides to it. And this is what they would use, like the Hawaiians would use to make rope. It's a really tough fibers like this, and I guess with salt water, and they roll them together, and it makes a nice good rope. So the coconuts, and then for coconuts, so what do? It's like you open all these coconuts, and then you have all this all this trash. So that's why a lot of people like to buy them in the cans, because they're like, oh, all this trash. Well, you know, if you open it right and you're careful about it, you know, they make really good bowls. I saw somebody around here with a nice coconut bowl in purple, yeah, right there. So, beautiful bowl, you know, it's like, that's a renewable resource. It grows, like the tree keeps on giving us bowls. This is also a spoon. When you get the spoon meat, you can use this as a spoon. It's just like one blow with a machete, right here, like this. And you're gonna, and a piece is gonna come off like this. That's just a great spoon for like the jelly meat and the spoon meat where you can, right there. So, yeah, exactly, because you know you're outside and you know who has a spoon in their back pocket all the time. You want to be able to. And then you know you got some buckets to clean, you got some dishes to clean. You want to clean up your coconut stump. I recommend a good. High coconut stump that's where you can stand up and operate, not where you got to be like squatting down on the ground. You got like weird angles, and you're going to be comfortable. You know, you want to be a coconut consumer. You want to set yourself up to consume coconuts. A good, solid, log can be raised up on some blocks or something, but at a nice, comfortable height, like a little bit, countertop maybe a little bit lower, so you can, do your work at it safely. I always use the leftover pieces to clean off my stump, make it good. You don't want to get all moldy and have ants all over, whatever, clean it up. But these are coconut brush. I just caught this before the meeting, and I kind of like rub it on the edge of something, and it kind of gets some of the fruit out, and this is the fiber that's left. So like the water, kind of squeeze it out, and you get this nice bristle, like natural bristle brush. Like you can use it to wash your hands. You got some stuff in your hands, or you got a greasy pan or bucket or something you want to clean, or just whatever, you're cleaning around the house. It works really great. You know what? Oh, look, it's got kind of funky, throw it in the compost pile, and you have another, there's plenty of them, so you don't need to, buy a brand new sponge or spend a whole bunch of time cleaning it. This is like an amazing tool. And it's just, a lot of us have them just lying around our yard and maybe don't, utilize it as well as we could, yeah.
How do you tell if they have sprouted?
How do you tell if they have sprouted?
You see green leaves growing out of the top. This is kind of like, I wasn't actually expecting this one to be sprouted. It was a surprise for me, because it hadn't had any leaves yet. And so it was just forming, so it's just getting that in the middle. But you'll see like underneath coconut trees that are kind of like in a wild area, particularly if it's got a little bit more moisture, like North Shore more than Eareheart or Lahaina, they'll just sprout. If there's organic matter, leaf litter underneath that's going to hold moisture, then that's going to support that to, complete its life cycle. And it'll just start shooting out, one leaf and then one leaf and one leaf.
Okay, we're gonna do questions afterwards. We want you to move on, but I know there's a lot of questions that can come up from this. One question I have for you guys, okay, is why? Can someone tell me why it's shaped like this? So when the baga fall from the tree, it's going to stick in the ground and root. Okay, like a bullet. Yeah. Okay. Brian?
Yep.
Thank you so much.
I'm just going to show
you one more thing?
A quick idea, like on a young coconut, how easy it is. These are like the ones that we typically offer for sale, because this is what what you guys usually ask for. Can just stick this cool little tool from Brazil.
Not through your hand.
Yep, and that's going to just pop the calyx off, and assuring a good quality coconut is making sure that the calyx is white on the inside. And you can stick this spike right.
You get the ones that spray in your face?
Oh yeah, that's it's good. It's like champagne. And then this little tool just brings it out, and it's a straw, and it's right there. It's ready to consume for you, sir.
Actually, I'm going to give it to our mainland guest.
Yeah.
Okay. And no, that's yours.
But using the tool,
you and Robert.
Clean the machete afterwards. There's so much good stuff. These are really cool. I use them around the house all the time.
Brian brings such value to our meeting. Thank you, Brian.